Hey everyone, and welcome back to the most magical podcast on the internet. I am so excited to bring you guys this very special guest. I think that you're going to learn so much from them, and I want you to spread all of your pixie dust and magic to their community as well. So let's go ahead and get started with the episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We have an amazing Why We Disney Wednesday. We hope you are super excited because we are so pumped. I cannot wait to introduce our very special guest today. But first, as always, I have to introduce my beautiful co-host, Kara.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Awesome. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce her. She is an amazing enthusiast, guys. She is so real and beautiful and authentic. You are going to love her. So, Why We Disney family, give a nice warm welcome to Bianca. How are you?
Buddy. Thank you so much for having me. I feel like I'm at Disneyland, even though I'm not.
Where are you from, Bianca?
I'm from Los Angeles, California, so I'm a Disneyland local, and I do try to go like at least once a year.
At least once a year. Good grief. Well, listen, so if our listeners don't already know, where can they find you on Instagram?
On Instagram is at Ms. Bianca Renee, MZ Bianca Renee. Then I also have a YouTube channel and TikTok. My YouTube is Bianca Renee Today.
Love it. Love it. So we ask all of our special guests this one question every time. You know, Kara and I talk about why we Disney and why we're so passionate, why we love it. And we just truly want to know, why do you Disney? Why is it so great? Why is it so important to you?
Why do I Disney? I think it's just like that feeling you get once you step foot into the park. Like, it's hard to explain, but like, I'm sure you guys know that feeling. It's just like, I'm here, and it just makes you instantly happy. I don't know if it's in the air. I don't know if it's like in the churros, but I just like love going with friends. And now that I have a son, I'm looking so forward to like going like with him and like re-experiencing what we already know for the first, like seeing that for the first time has to be crazy. So I'm so excited to take him when he can actually walk. So I'm not carrying him through the park. But yeah, I just like the feeling and like of the excitement of counting down to the day we go and then being able to go with friends.
Absolutely. I agree. There's something in the air. Like, Kara, would you agree? There's something in the air. They're pumping the air with something that's addicting. I don't know.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's just like, as soon as I see the castle, tears.
Yeah.
Immediate tears.
Why is that? Every time.
And we're all like grown, and it still gives us that feeling. So I don't know what.
I know.
I think it's also just the, like, there's just like this safety, there's like this magic, like everything's okay at Disney.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Miss Bianca, I know that, our followers may not know you from the Disney realm. So is it okay if you kind of tell us about yourself, tell us about your background, what you do on YouTube, anything like that?
So I have a YouTube channel. I've been doing YouTube full time for about 8 years now as a social media influencer. And I actually, all my content is mainly about curly hair. I do have my hair in twists for the summer, but usually it's really big and curly. So my channel is all about having guys and girls learn to love and embrace their natural hair, learn how to style it, what products work, what products don't. So I'm basically like the guinea pig for hair products. So you don't waste your money on things that don't work, because we've all been there and done that. So mainly hair, but I've been branching out into more fashion and skincare, and I want to involve travel as well. So my last Disneyland trip, I recorded like all the food that I ate and everything. So I'm hoping to edit that eventually and then put that on TikTok to show you guys like travel things and like where you should eat when you go places, and just a little bit of everything on all my channels.
I love that. Oh my gosh. And our listeners and our watchers, now I'm rocking the curly hair, and I just need to let people know I'm definitely fangirling. Miss Bianca, I have been following you, a true curl friend, for the past 3 years, and I am 26 now, and I struggled as a biracial child. No one knew what was going on with my hair. It was just like, throw it up, nothing. And in college, at the end of my college career, right when I moved, I was like, I really need to learn what this is, because I was just straightening it. I had the flat iron on it every day. It was just re-flat ironed. And I found your channel, and it inspired me to rock the natural curls. We are crowned with curls. And so we just bring it out because I had no idea I was supposed to deep condition once a week. And I joined your challenges and did all of this. So, oh yes, true loyal listener and follower. So I've been doing all that. I am hooked on Curlsmith now because of you. I have all their products. So I just want to say thank you for not only creating magic like through Disney, but just in people's everyday lives. Like I truly appreciate my curls in the way that I was made better because of your YouTube channel.
Oh, that means a lot to me. Like that's really what keeps me going. Like it is a lot of work and editing everything, but when I hear stuff like that, like it just like gives me purpose as to what I'm really doing. So thank you for that. I'm glad to help.
No, and I mean, I'm fangirling, but when I found your channel, I was like, I need to see all of her content. So I went way back. I started with your very first Shea Moisture review 8 years ago, and I watched every single video. So I just want to say, like, I'm so glad that you're real. You're not putting any fake content out there. You're not giving any fake reviews. You're doing side by sides. You were just like showing your true self and like how stuff works. And I think that's something in the Disney community that we can take note on. Because it's like, Disney magic, but there is real life stuff going on too. So I really appreciate your content.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
So speaking of your YouTube, like what are some ways that our listeners can support you? Go subscribe, do anything else?
Oh, yes. I love new subscribers. Join the family, whether you have curly hair or not. I'll eventually talk about everything. I do Foundation Fridays. I'm incorporating makeup and skin. So as long as you have a face or a head, you can enjoy my content. I try to keep things light and funny, so you might get a giggle every now and then. But yeah, if you subscribe to my YouTube, which is Bianca Renee Today, you can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. What else we have to join? Just anything. Ms. Bianca Renee. I'm on all of it.
That's great. And what is some of your advice to being successful? You started out 8 years ago with that Shea Moisture review, and now you have over 500,000 curl friends on YouTube? Yeah, crazy. So if you're not one of those 500,000, you need to go subscribe.
Let's get to 1 million by the end of the year. Yeah. Is that
okay. Yeah, let's do it. So what is your advice? How do you grow?
Well, you grow by being consistent, which is always the hardest thing. No matter, like I always talk to people all the time that want to start a YouTube channel. I'm like, cool, we're gonna start. Well, my video's not perfect yet. Well, I want to get this camera. Well, I want to get this, and like put it off. Next thing you know, like years have gone by and you haven't posted anything, or you post one quote unquote perfect video that you're finally happy with, and then that's all you post. So don't stress about like the content. I mean, not the content, like what you're using to create the content. Just post if that's what you want to do in social media. And I mean, with any career, regardless, you just have to keep going. You can't just do something once, whether it's working out or dieting. Like, you can't just have one healthy meal and then be like, well, where's my body? Like, I'm ready. So it's just about consistency. And also, like, as cliche as it sounds, like being authentic to yourself. Like, you guys love Disney, so that's what you do. But if so that's what's going to make it authentic, because people want to talk to you about Disney, because that's something you genuinely or passionately like to talk about. I like to talk about curly hair products. I like to see what works, what doesn't. So that's what keeps me going. I'm sure someone's like, oh, I want you to talk about outer space. That might not be your thing. So it might be like a drag to like, okay, let me research about Saturn tomorrow. And like, you don't want to do it. But if someone's like, hey, can you talk about Mickey Mouse for an hour or your favorite food at Disney? You could do that like no problem all day, every day. So just have to think about what would you do for free? And then if you would be able to do that for free, there's a way to get paid for it. No matter what you want to do in life, someone is getting paid to do what you love to do for free.
Isn't that a crazy world?
It truly is. Someone very early on gave us a similar piece of advice about being consistent when Kara and I started this podcast, and like whatever it is, like whatever gets in the way, because let's be honest, like we record every single Monday, like religiously. And if Kara can't that day, I'm like, okay, well, what about tomorrow? Like, we understand things comes up, but that is one thing that Kara, have we not like just hammered from the beginning? Like, we have to be consistent.
Yes.
So I'm glad that we heard that early on. And, if someone is listening who wants to start a YouTube channel or even a podcast, like, that's awesome. Do it, jump in it, and be consistent. And for a long time, it was trial and error. Like, Bianca, for you, I'm sure like some things didn't work out the way that you envisioned them sometimes. It happens.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's worth it.
Yeah, my very first YouTube video, I was filming on my front-facing camera of my laptop in my mom's kitchen with the sun as my lighting, and that was it. Like I literally was showing a hair product, and I poured it on my laptop during the video, like on accident.
Oh,
So, like, you know, now I'm in a studio with lights and a Canon, but you know, I have videos now that don't have as many views as my very first video. So it really doesn't matter. It's more about you and what you're talking about and your personality, not the equipment. So you guys are doing great. Just keep going.
Thanks. Well, we're definitely going to do that. So one of my questions kind of leading into our Disney segment is, you know, you are a curly hair enthusiast, and could you tell us some products? What would you recommend using in those hot park days? Like, I really need to know.
Question. Disneyland versus Disney World. We keeping it all Disneyland? Both?
You can do both. So Kaycee and I both haven't been to Disneyland.
Oh, wait, where do you guys live?
I'm in Maryland.
Oh.
I'm in South Carolina. So I'm about 7 hours from Disney World. So that's where we go all the time.
You guys have never been to Disneyland?
No.
Well, I'm going to put in the universe that someone is going to sponsor you guys and fly you out, and it'll be taken care of. We're going to put that in the universe now.
Speak that to existence right now.
If you're listening, they want to come. Well, yeah, for Disney World, the humidity in Florida is no joke. So I would say a strong hold gel. Like, leave the house with your hair hard and crunchy. You might not like it at first, but it's okay, because the humidity is what's going to break up the cast of the gel. So you might be like hard and crunchy at like 8 a.m., but then by like noon, it'll be fluffy and beautifully curly. So just like go with the, if you need more moisture, use the leave-in first. It will soften the cast of the gel, but I just go with my strongest hold gel, whether it's the Curlsmith, Dippity Doo, Weedad has one, a strong hold, Pattern Beauty. There's so many, just the strongest as possible.
Got it.
Keep them firm, and then the humidity will break them up. I also, you know, it depends if you want to wear ears or not.
Yeah.
You might want your hair out of your face for the rides, you know, so you could do little 2 space buns behind your Mickey ears is cute, and then you don't have to worry about your hair at all. But at the end of the day, I think when we go to Disney, we just want to have fun. Like, just don't even try to think too much about like your appearance. If it's frizzy, it's like, you're at Disneyland. Like, tell me something. I dare you to try to kill my joy right now.
Right. Oh, I totally get it.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that was super fun learning about Bianca and all that she does, but I know we want to hear all about her Disney favorites. So we're going to pause for a quick ad break, and we'll be right back.
All right, guys, welcome back. Bianca, I'm just so fangirling over you too much. Like, we need to stop and talk about some Disneyland, okay? I know that you recently just got back from Disneyland, and first, I want to hear, like, how was your trip? And I know that's like a really broad answer. I have more specific questions, but overall, how was your trip?
Overall, the trip was wild, because this was like, I've been really strict on being stuck in quarantine the past year. Like, I barely went to the grocery store. Like, everything was sent to me and delivered. So this was like my first like huge outing outside the house, period. And then we had to like do the whole reservation thing to even be able to get a ticket. And I think we went like the last or second to last day where masks were required. And we were hoping it was going to be a limited capacity because of that. So because everyone was talking about this limited capacity, I was expecting the lines to be super short and everything. But I think they ended up adding more tickets to the later dates. So like that first week when they just opened in Disneyland, because we've been closed way longer than Disney World, I think it was like 20% capacity, or like, don't quote me, but it was like almost empty. And people were like, we walked on all the rides. It was great. I think they were like the guinea pigs to see, okay, let's see if anybody catches COVID if we open. So they were like, oh, let's just let them go. And then I think they added more and more people. So it was still pretty crowded. And we went the second weekend after Avengers Campus opened. And so what the park is right now, you have to, if you do a park hopper, you have to choose what park you want to go to first. And then I believe it was like at 1:00 or whatever time it was, then you can switch to the other park. So we thought it'd be smart to start with California Adventure and do Avengers Campus. We ran in, we were there like right at 8:00, but I feel like they opened the doors early. I don't know, do you do Disney World, like where they say the time, but then let you in?
Absolutely. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
I didn't get that memo. So I'm like, wow, there's no line. We walked, I'm like, we're right on time. But then we get there and there's already a 2-hour wait to get into Avengers Campus because we were not able to get the reservation in the app. Are you guys familiar with that?
The boarding group.
Yeah. So there was like a 7 a.m. boarding and then, or 7 a.m. time where you try to get in and then there's a 12:00. So if you missed the 7, you had to do the 12. And we were on like 6:59, refreshing. And like we clicked it and then it said sold out. Yep. So we were so sad. We had to wait in line like a basic person. No, I'm kidding. And we were in line for like the entire morning. We kind of took shifts. It was me, my husband, my best friend, and her fiance. So like the boys stayed in line and we went to go ride Little Mermaid. And then we'd stay in line and they go get some food. All the food was also reservation only. So like my last experience, I don't even know if it's the same now because now it's fully open. Masks are no longer required. I don't know if the rules are as strict, but going during like the COVID restrictions was kind of challenging.
Yeah.
I could imagine. Well, so you guys just went that one day, right? And you did California Adventure in the morning and then Disneyland in the afternoon?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, cool. So what was your favorite ride, let's say throughout that entire day? The one that's like, oh my God, we had so much fun.
The one we were really excited for was the new Spider-Man ride.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know the name. I'm not.
Web slingers.
There we go. Well, you got to have the professionals.
I gotcha.
So that was just fun because like we tried not to watch it on social media. We just wanted to go in blind and like see how it was. And people just warned me that I needed to stretch before. I was like, what do you mean stretch? So I was stretching everything. But it's really because you're going like this the whole time. And it's similar to the Woody's Roundup ride. That's a Disney, right?
We have what is it? Toy Story Mania, which is basically the same ride.
Right.
Yes, I think I made up the name. I think you're right. That's what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, go with the little ball and you have to like go really fast.
Right.
It's like you have to go that fast, but you're going like this and you're trying to like shoot spiders. So because we don't really know what we're doing, we're just like, you don't really need like any type of device. It tracks your hands, which was really cool.
Yeah.
So that was really fun because it was new and interactive, like it made you move. Then of course there's a high score, so you try to beat the people that you're with. So that was a lot of fun. I think overall, my favorite Disney ride is probably, which is kind of crazy, but not Tower of Terror. It's no longer Tower of Terror. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
I usually hate rides with drops, but for some reason, like I just love that ride.
It's great. And I like hear the music is incredible. Like it's the experience so much. Like I feel like Tower of Terror in Disney World is just like a very random like drop sequence. But with that one, the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? It's like music and all that fun stuff.
Oh, that's right. So the Guardians isn't in Disney World?
We still have the original.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's like with Tower of Terror, you can kind of guess, okay, we're going to go up and then we're going to go down. This one's like, gotcha. And it's like, you can't keep track. And it's just like a mind blow.
Oh my gosh. Well, so I guess you did get a boarding group for Web Slingers, right?
Eventually, we got the 12:00. We all like all of a sudden people just start screaming like around the park. They're like, "Woo, woo!" Because we just knew that you got it too. I got it too. Like it was just like a moment for people that were on the app. So we got the 12:00 and made it worth it. But then after that, you don't really have to wait in the line anymore. So my biggest advice would be if they're still doing the 7:00 and 12:00 boarding, if you don't get the 7:00, you might as well just enjoy your day. And then just try the 12 because even if you get in the park, you then can't ride it. Like you have to have a reservation for the ride. So there's a reservation like to get in. And then if you have a reservation, then you can go inside. So we kind of wasted a lot of the day. And if we would have just waited for 12, then we would have been good to go.
That makes
I
sense.
see.
Well, I'm sure there was like so much stuff you other did, and we talked a little bit earlier, but you had some snacks,
We had a
some
lot
food.
of snacks.
What do you recommend? What was a must get?
I'm gonna get all the names wrong, but I'm going to describe them to you.
It's fine.
So we wanted to try all the food in the Avengers campus, which was they had like because of Ant-Man and like the shrink ray and the sizing of everything, they had a jumbo chicken sandwich with a little tiny bun.
Yes.
Extremely pointless when it comes to like the ratio of bread to chicken, but it was really good. What else do we get? They also had a lot of drinks at, was it Pim's something?
Pim Kitchen or something? Pim
That
Test
one, yeah.
Kitchen?
So they have alcoholic beverages with boba. So that was really fun.
Yes.
So yeah, I would say get the drinks, get the chicken sandwich. What else do we have? They have like a super jumbo pretzel. Definitely get that to share. Don't get one for yourself. What else? I got there. They have $100 panini, which is like super large. The one slice was also good, but I think I prefer the chicken sandwich more than the panini. But all the stuff in the Avengers campus is really fun to try. I definitely recommend it.
Oh
Good.
man.
And I'm
That's
sure you have like all the regular Disney stuff. So what's your opinion on Dole Whip?
Oh, well, I'm a pineapple fanatic. For those that don't know, I'm obsessed with pineapples. Like everything in my house is pineapple decor. I have pineapple, just everything. So the last time I went, I was Dole Whipped out. I had pineapple ears. I had a pineapple backpack, the Disney one. And we really wanted to get the new one that had like the mango, mango nata flavor. And they have like raspberry, but they sold out of mango. We're struggling. We were like fighting for food that day. But I love Dole Whip. I actually just came back from Palm Springs and I found Dole Whip in Palm Springs, like legit Dole Whip. So I was happy that I got my fix even outside of the Disneyland walls.
right.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. So now you already gave like your tip for the Web Slingers boarding group, right? You did end up like hopping over to Disneyland, right? Like around what time did you guys go ahead and hop over?
I think we were allowed to switch at 1, but then the thing is like you try to get your reservation for Web Slingers at 12. If you get it, then they give you a reservation time. So I think our time was then 5 o'clock. So we tried to like do the water like rafting ride. And while we were in line, like it was like 15 minutes to our time, or you only have an hour to get there before you lose your reservation. So we're like, we can't do all this and lose it. So I actually like this little tip you guys might want to try. I got out the line. I told the girls like, hey, we have Web Slingers in like 20 minutes. You like, we're right there in line. Do you think we're going to make it? How long is the actual river rapids? She's like, you guys probably make it. She's like, I'll just give you a fast pass. So she like gave us fast passes to come back. I was like, I love you.
What?
So we left, did Web Slingers, and then we came back and did rapids with our fast passes because they didn't have any fast passes for some reason during this time, which is like really hurts my soul not to have fast passes. So I was glad I got one for the day. So I think after that, we went over to Disney. There were no fireworks because of the COVID situation. But we did go to, this was my first time riding the new Star Wars. Well, not the newest Star Wars ride, the first Star Wars ride that we got.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I don't names. I'm such a fraud.
Was it the Millennium Falcon?
Yes.
Okay.
So fun fact, I've been to Disneyland and Disney World while both of them were open, but I was pregnant both times, so I couldn't ride the ride. so I like finally pushed the baby out and now I could ride the ride. So that was a lot of fun. That was the first time for me. But when we had to do our 12 o'clock boarding, we pretty much had to choose between Web Slingers, Indiana Jones, or the newest Star Wars ride. Like you can't try to get them all. You're just not gonna happen. You got to focus on the prize. So we chose Web Slingers, so we didn't get the fast pass or the boarding pass for the newest Star Wars ride. So guess I have to go back.
All right, guys, Rise of the Resistance. We have to have Bianca back after she rides that ride to get your review.
It truly is an awesome ride. I think you will love that one. Really, you will.
So do you guys already have both of them in Florida? Both Star Wars rides?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. What's that one like? The Rise of Resistance.
Oh my God.
I am not a Star Wars fan.
Uh-huh.
I really don't like Star Wars, but that ride, holy crap. The Imagineering, like, I was like, oh my God, there's the real person. Like, I thought the actors were in the ride
Yeah.
because it's all trackless. Like, there's no thing. Yeah. Kaycee, I don't know.
What do you mean trackless? Like, are you like flying? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. So it's kind of tough to explain like track. So you're in like a car that has like wheels on it, but they're like animated, but you're just kind of like
gliding.
cruising. Yeah, you're kind of like smoothly cruising along the floor, but it's so smooth. You're just not on a track. You're literally just in a car and it's driving itself.
Mm-hmm.
Are you actually moving or is it just like a screen virtual thing?
No, you're
moving.
actually moving. It is incredible. Like you will absolutely love that one. I can't wait till you do ride it because I mean your mind is just going to be blown. One thing that I truly appreciate about Rise of the Resistance is it truly feels like I'm in the movie. Like we're like captured and people are yelling at me and I'm afraid. And then they're like, you have to go like be interrogated. And I'm like, interrogated? Like, what do you mean? And then like they rescue us and it's this big long adventure out of the place. It's so cool. You really do feel like you're there. You'll love it.
Yeah.
Next time.
Next time, for sure.
I just won't get pregnant.
Well, we can't let you go without asking these two questions. I need to know your favorite Disney character and your favorite Disney movie.
My favorite Disney character would be Jasmine.
Okay.
And my favorite Disney movie is The Lion King.
Any specific reasons?
I feel like growing up, Jasmine was just like the closest thing that related to me, in like even like my skin tone. Though she was like our only like ethnic option as a princess. I actually for Halloween I was her when I was probably like 5, and it had like that like mesh netting to like cover your tummy.
Yeah,
it was like a white tummy, and then there was the rest of me. Things we have to go through. But yeah, I love Aladdin. I just love Jasmine. And then Lion King, like you just can't go wrong with that soundtrack. And like, I'm still get upset that, with Scar and Mufasa, like their beef is just always going to hurt me.
It is emotional trauma.
Yeah. We're going to fast forward even in our 30s. Like, that part. But I've also seen that one on Broadway. Like, it's just so good. Lion King's so good.
It is. And I feel like all of our favorite movies and our favorite princesses, they always have like these like killer quotes, right? Like the ones that like we could plaster on every wall at our house. Like they're so motivational. And that's another thing, just what I love about Disney is that they're encouraging people to be who they are. They're pushing us out of our comfort zone. And I'm sure like you appreciate it, more so, or even with us being, and Kara always talks about on the podcast how like the color of her skin, like they didn't have a Disney princess that represented really until you said, I know. And so I truly think that they are trying to get better. So I am glad that you mentioned that about Jasmine. It's really been an issue that they've had, and I think they're coming around. I know for me, myself, I appreciate it for sure.
Yeah. Slowly but surely we're like, Coco, and then we have one based in Colombia coming. So
oh my gosh, and have you seen Luca? Like they're giving that whole culture.
Yeah.
It was cute.
It's super cute. You'll like it. But again, they're immersing us into like another culture. So I appreciate it. I'm here for it. I want to give a quick plug though for our Why We Disney podcast newsletter that we send out every single month. Guys, we are wanting to engage with you. We're wanting to shout you out on our newsletter. So if you have a favorite Disney quote of all time, like I live by this quote, I'll plaster it all over my walls. I want you to DM us that quote or email us at whywedisney@gmail.com. You will have an opportunity to be shouted out on the newsletter. So I wanted to give that just a quick plug while we're talking about Disney motivating us. So
nice.
If you're a listener or Bianca, we would love to get a quote from you and give you a shout out on our newsletter this next time. Do you know of like a quote that like from the Lion King or something that you're like, I just truly love this?
It's gonna have to be the classic Hakuna Matata. You can just use that in every day of your life. And I am someone that likes to, I'm a perfectionist. I do stress over things. I can get overwhelmed. But if I could just like take a moment to breathe and just say Hakuna Matata, no worries, like you're always gonna get through the day. You know,
Right.
as we think about it, you've always where you are right now, you've already gotten past your worst day. So it just proves that you can. So yeah, like you said, Disney's is always motivating you, and they have the little subtle, sneaky messages, even in kids' movies.
Yes.
Agree.
Well, it has been absolutely amazing talking to you, Bianca. We are so appreciative that you could take the time out of your very busy schedule with all your other amazing content and creations going on to talk to us about a little bit of Disney magic. But, you know, for our followers, those of you that have made it to the end of this video, go ahead and comment #CurlFriends so we know that you are going to support Miss Bianca. And could you remind them where they can find you on all the social medias?
So on YouTube, you can follow me at Bianca Renee Today. And on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, it's at Ms. MZ Bianca Renee.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
All right, guys. Well, don't forget, thank you for joining us once again. Make sure that you subscribe to our newsletter. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Pinterest. Like us on Facebook. Guys, we have all of the social medias. We hope that you enjoyed today's episode, and we will see you next week. Thank you so much again, Bianca. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.